I'm only stating the obvious, so you can argue me as much shit as you want. And
what do you mean by the obvious, mate? It may seem obvious to you, but it might not be obvious to your audience. So, what do you mean by stating the obvious?
Michael Parkinson, I don't want to be interviewed off you. I'm not doing any interviews. I'm going to have a word with Cookie. That'll do. I don't do Google Hangouts. Do I have to explain a reason why? Why would?
Yes, because other than feeling peer pressured in an environment where there may be multiple people in a big open hangout, yes, a lot of people don't like that kind of environment, but that isn't what I was intending when I said to you about having a hangout. Yeah, you could have come along and joined in one of the hangouts that somebody else is hosting that is like a public house or open house hangout, but there you may very well have been subjected to that kind of environment because it's public, it's open. But we could have had a hangout just between 2 or 3 people, so that you don't have that kind of environment where you feel you're being pressured or bullied in some fashion. So yeah, anyway.
Wouldn't do an hangout. Not really. It's pretty self-explanatory, really, isn't it? I've watched a couple in my time. I don't even watch them. You see, I don't bother with them. Truth movement is infiltrated with people on the make and genuinely Masons, really, is what I'm trying to say. I don't mean genuine as in they're standing in their honour.
Okay, because I don't want to leave it to go too long without addressing each point that he's bringing up, because otherwise it will become too much of a mishmash. But the truth movement is infiltrated by lots of ne'er-do-wells. Yes, it is. That's the whole part of this environment that is the way it is. If you don't realise that, you're being naive. It is that way. I've never denied it. I've talked about it a lot. It's a topic that's been spoken about by me and many others in immense amount of detail and information. In terms of the Masons, you are choosing to target the Masons in particular. That's your choice. I don't agree with you on that. Not because I agree with Masons and Masonry and Freemasonry and whatever. No, it's just that you're trying to isolate the problem to being just them. It's a big topic that I'll address separately at another time, but I'll carry on going through what you're saying first.
No, I don't mean that. I mean, genuine plants, if you like, and that's just the way it is. I'm not living in a world where I'm denying that. I'm seeing it for what it is. I suggest you all start doing the same.
Yes, as I've just said, I've done that for years now in a public fashion, and years before that in a private fashion. So I'm not disagreeing with you on that, right? So how that is a point of argumentation between you and me, I don't know. You've just made it into a point of argumentation.
Don't forget, I've got history with Cookie Monster. It goes back way before your little clique got together, right? Way before, and I go way back with Anthony Meehan as well. Way before. See, I was asking Ant how his wife is and that before I'd even seen any of you lot.
Yes, as I've pointed out for people, and as I've reminded you, those videos are still on my channel. They're still publicly available. I've not tried to change or hide or alter anything that's there. They're still there as they were at the time. To my knowledge, I haven't actually checked recently, but to my knowledge, all of your comments and whatever that you posted under my video, they're all still there. I don't get rid of stuff like that. I don't play those kind of silly games. I just do not do that kind of stuff. If you feel that you have proof that I do, then you need to show that proof. Yeah, it just is constant implication and whatever. It's not going to go anywhere. There's no reasoned argument or evidence to back up what you're saying. And in terms of how far back this goes, yeah, it's at least 2 years, 2013, something like that. And in terms of you interacting with other people, such as Anthony, that's your interaction, mate. Yeah, I don't go into a lot of information about what's going on in my personal life to the public, because it's my personal life, it's my privacy. And the stuff going on in my life, which if I wanted to be deliberately playing cards for some kind of justification, then I can quite easily put stuff in front of you that's equally as bad as a lot of the problems that you're talking about. And that's true for most people, yeah? So to attempt to use that as some kind of leverage doesn't go anywhere.
Really? Maybe cookie, see. But you don't know that, do you? You didn't know it, but you know it now. And actually, like Anthony, I think he's trying his best. Alright, he might have done a few things wrong to you all, like in these chats, which is why I don't do these chats. Understand? But you know, I'd say he stands on his honour. He's a man of honour, and where his head is right now, I know that you can't use that as an excuse, but it just again shows true colours, doesn't it? You know.
Again, you're contradicting yourself. You're saying it can't be used as an excuse or a justification, and then you switch and you are using it as an excuse and a justification. I'm not sure why Anthony has developed some kind of issue or argument with me. That's something I'll address in a separate video or whatever. Again, to try and approach the implied accusations that are being thrown my direction. But yeah, anyway, that'll be a separate clip or whatever that I'll do.
Like, you just show your true colours, you lot. That's all you do.
Showing true colours in what way? Please, if anybody, I know it's a lot of stuff to work through, but if people bother to go back through my channel, going over my stuff, I have ad nauseum repeated that I do not in any way claim to be perfect. I'm not an expert. I make mistakes. I'm fallible. I am human, just like the rest of you. I hope you're all human out there, but you know. The point being, you're trying to accuse me of something that is just non-existent. And in terms of showing your true colours, I'm not showing any true colours, mate, because I've always been showing my true colours. The way I am on camera, the way I am in a hangout is exactly the same as the way I would be if I was speaking to you face to face in a pub. Yeah? If you feel that you have proof, evidence, argument to show otherwise, you need to show it. Yeah? You need to present it.
Every single time. Very, very sad, really. But there you go. Like I say, I will be moving on from all this, but I'm not bothered. It doesn't bother me. I think it's funny. I think you're all funny. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it has been somewhat entertaining, but excuse me, it's, you know, you say it's not bothering you, but obviously it's here now causing all this lot. This is the kind of argumentation and division for petty or nonsensical reasons that is at the moment one of the plagues on the truth movement. And it's this kind of thing that needs to be addressed up front, to nip it in the bud before it escalates into whatever else. Yeah, this is the whole point, the main point why I'm doing all this lot now.
I'm entitled to say what the fuck I want as well.
Yes, you are, mate. You are entitled to say what the fuck you want, as long as you're causing no harm or loss to others. If you attempt to destroy or besmirch or whatever, you know, particular archaic or poetic word that comes into my head, you're trying to slander me, you're trying to destroy my reputation in this internet environment, this social media environment, that is potentially causing me harm, it's causing me loss. So yeah, that is something where, you know, you can't do that. Not without being replied to, being responded to, being rebutted, Yeah, I know I myself will very often shout at a lot of the politicians, the movers and shakers that people often refer to as the controllers or the powers that be or whatever, and I'll shout paedophile at them, and I'll shout scum at them, and I'll shout warmonger at them, and I'm quite confident that I have good reasoning and justification, and in many cases evidence to back that up. So I'm not just going around the internet going, I don't like the look of your face, therefore you're a scum, you're a paedophile, you're a shill, you're a this, whatever. Yeah. So in that respect, again, you are potentially causing me harm or loss, so therefore it needs to be responded to.
Okay. And I won't let the government take that off me unless it's by force. And I won't let any of you lot take it off me. You'll have to use force, which is another thing that I'm actually trying to prove.
I have repeatedly told you, not ever, even when in our first encounter, not ever have I tried to shut you down in any way whatsoever. I haven't tried to block your comments, I haven't tried to stop you posting, I haven't tried to troll you in any way. I don't do that kind of stuff. And again, I will say, if you feel you have some kind of evidence to show that I have been doing that, then you need to present it so people can see it to back up your argument that I am somehow guilty of something. And in terms of you not being shut down by me or whoever or the government, I agree with you on that, mate. Isn't that a lot of what we're doing here, supposedly, with this stuff that we do online, is to try and stop all that big security, big brother state stuff that they're trying to put onto people to stop them talking.
You see, I'm trying to prove that it's the UK conspiracy mafia, and it spans the network across the globe like a pulsating bloody spider's web, you see. And you'd be a fool.
Something that there's lots of evidence for. Yeah, you know, Carol Quigley and I can't remember the name of the author now, the one other book, none dare call it conspiracy. There is already a lot of evidence out there, mate, for that you could be utilising to do what you're saying about proving there is this big overarching octopus-like conspiracy. Yeah, carry on.
To not see it, and I think a lot of people do see it now, right? I truly believe they do. You see, I approached Cookie Monster and I said, what do you think of Chunky Mark? And obviously he was very fond of Chunky Mark at the time, although I believe he's done a U-turn on that now.
No, I haven't. I have not changed my attitude towards what Chunky Mark does since I started following his channel. I have changed the amount of time, my own time that I will expend watching his stuff, and also the amount of times that I will actually share his stuff. That's not because I'm not doing it in the way I used to, in the sense of wanting people to see it. It's just simply because my time has been spent in other places. And I am confident, having followed his channel for a long time and knowing a fair bit about the way he does what he does, I am confident that Chunky Mark will be chugging along, doing his thing, so I don't need to put his stuff in front of people as regularly as I used to.